The man who became a rock somewhere in Paris. A 12-ton boulder just closed around a living human being. No air conditioning, no bathroom, no window. Just a hole carved into limestone, shaped exactly like his body. Sealed shut by workmen with their bare hands while journalists stood a few feet away, watching it happen in real time. He'll be in there for a week. Alone. In the dark. With no way to tell whether it's day or night outside. He calls himself the rock's beating heart. This is the story of Abraham Poincheval, a man some call France's most extreme living artist, and the week he spent entombed in stone trying to find out what happens to a human mind when time itself stops making sense. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what it was like inside that rock. The smell, the sleep, the psychological unraveling, and the strange comfort he says he found in all of it. And you'll understand why a grown man would volunteer for something most of us would call a nightmare. The piece is called Pierre, French for stone. Simple name. Nothing simple about what it involved. At Paris's Palais de Tokyo gallery, artisans spent weeks carving a human-shaped cavity into a 12-ton limestone boulder, a space just large enough for Poincheval to sit upright in, arms tucked close, knees bent, barely room to shift his weight. Beside the main cavity, they carved a small niche for supplies: bottled water, soup, dried meat. Enough to survive on. Not enough to be comfortable. Engineers drilled air holes through the rock so he wouldn't suffocate. Cables were threaded in to monitor his heartbeat and provide an emergency video link in case something went catastrophically wrong. This wasn't reckless improvisation. It was a carefully engineered ordeal, built with just enough safety margin to make it survivable, and not 1 inch more. Then, on a Wednesday in February 2017, workmen pressed the two halves of the boulder together around him while the press looked on. The seam closed. No handle, no hinge, no easy way out if he changed his mind. He was 44 years old at the time. And remarkably, this was far from the strangest thing he'd ever agreed to do to his own body. Why would anyone do this? Poincheval didn't frame this as a stunt, and he didn't frame it as a survival challenge either. He said in the weeks leading up to it that he wanted to feel time the way stone feels it. Geological time. The impossibly slow drift of something that barely changes across centuries, experienced from the inside rather than observed from the outside. He described the rock itself as almost alive, still faintly damp, freshly cut from the quarry, not yet finished settling into stillness. Being sealed inside it, he said, created a kind of exchange. His own breathing meeting the slow, imperceptible breathing of the stone around him. A current running back and forth between two completely different timescales of existence. He was upfront that the physical risks were real, but he predicted, correctly as it turned out, that the hardest part wouldn't be his body. It would be his mind. Holding on to a clear sense of reality with no daylight, no clock, and almost no ability to move was, in his own words, the real experiment. What it was actually like inside. This is the part most people actually want to know. So here's what he said, in his own account, from inside the rock. Nearly 3 days in, speaking through a narrow crack in the limestone, Poincheval described the experience as something close to tripping, a slow drift from one emotional state to the next, like being carried along on a raft with no control over the current. He said it was difficult to put into ordinary language, that the feelings kept shifting shape before he could name them. He compared himself, at one point, to an astronaut, someone traveling immense distances without physically moving an inch, locked in place but somehow still going somewhere. The logistics were as brutal as they were undignified. There was no bathroom, obviously, so he urinated into empty water bottles and used a small container to relieve himself, and then simply stayed there, in that same sealed space, for days at a time. When asked directly about the smell, he didn't dodge the question. He said the stone would absorb some of it, and that he believed he could tolerate the rest. No complaints, no second guessing, just a blunt acceptance of what the week would involve. Sleep, not claustrophobia, turned out to be the hardest part. Without a watch, without daylight, and with only the muffled sounds of the museum outside to go on, he lost almost all sense of time within the first few days. He could roughly estimate the hour based on ambient noise from the gallery, but that was it. No sunrise, no sunset, nothing to anchor a day to. He admitted he genuinely couldn't tell whether the stretches he spent sleeping counted as real rest or not. The darkness swallowed the difference between the two. And yet, by his own account, he wasn't suffering. He said he felt completely at ease inside the rock, genuinely connected to it rather than trapped by it. He compared the early days to the beginning of a mountain climb, the easy, almost pleasant stretch before the real difficulty sets in. He knew, even as he said it, that the harder part was still ahead of him. He wasn't entirely isolated either. Word of the performance spread fast, and visitors began showing up at the gallery specifically to speak into the crack in the boulder. Some read him poetry, others told him about their dreams or their nightmares, as if the rock itself were a confessional. Poincheval said he didn't think they were really talking to him, he thought they were talking to the stone. And he said he was glad about that. Glad the stone had gotten into their heads the same way it had gotten into his. One visitor stood out, a 9-year-old girl named Daria, who'd come to the gallery for her birthday specifically to see him. She shouted through the crack that she was a fan, and that what he was doing was really cool. A 9-year-old's blunt, unfiltered verdict on an extreme piece of performance art. To keep some grip on his own thoughts through all of it, he kept a diary the entire time, scrawled inside the dark, with plans to publish it once he emerged. This wasn't even close to his first time. Here's the thing that makes Pierre make a lot more sense. Poincheval has spent his entire career putting his body through ordeals most people wouldn't survive on purpose. He once spent 13 days sewn inside a stuffed bear carcass, eating worms and beetles to stay alive the whole time. He's been buried underneath a rock for 8 straight days. He sealed himself inside a giant plastic bottle and navigated it down France's Rhone River. He crossed the Alps sealed inside a barrel. He spent an entire week living on top of a 65-foot pole outside a Paris train station, exposed to the elements the whole time. He spent 20 days living underground as what he called a human mole, cut off from the surface entirely. And once, alongside a former collaborator, he lived like a Stone Age man on a small rocky island off the coast of Marseille. No modern tools, no modern comforts. By the time the two halves of that boulder closed around him, entombment in solid limestone wasn't some wild outlier in his career. It was just the next entry on a very long, very strange list. And he wasn't done. If he survived the week inside the rock, his next planned piece involved sitting on a dozen eggs for weeks on end, attempting to hatch them the way a hen would, using nothing but his own body heat. The takeaway. Right before the rock closed around him, Poincheval offered the simplest explanation for why he does any of this. We are all, in a sense, already locked inside our own bodies. He was just making that fact impossible to ignore. For himself, sealed in stone with nothing but his own breathing for company, and for everyone who lined up outside the gallery to speak into a crack in a boulder and be heard by someone they couldn't see. Whether you call that art, endurance, an experiment in isolation, or some combination of all three, probably depends on who you ask. Poincheval himself never seemed too concerned with picking a label. But for 1 week in February 2017, in the middle of Paris, a man became the beating heart of a 12-ton stone. Losing track of day and night, sitting in his own waste, listening to strangers read poetry through a crack in the rock, and came out the other side with a diary full of everything that week did to his mind, written by someone who, for 7 straight days, couldn't have told you what hour it was. If a story like this is the kind of thing you want more of, hit subscribe. This channel digs up the strangest, most extreme corners of history and art so you don't have to. And if you enjoyed this one, drop a like, it genuinely helps the channel grow. See you in the next one.